Is it somebody I don't my call? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I hope you guys are doing great as we approach the holiday seasons right around the corner. And I'm here to do a reading on 21 Savage because he has recently just dropped a surprised album that he hinted just a week before he released it. And it was like kind of teasers, and he didn't give like any kind of like memos. I'm not sure what they call it when they give you like a snippet of a of their music. Not like a snippet, but like a melody where they you guys know what I'm talking about, right? That's just not something in the K-pop fandom, right? Where they just give you like snippets of like each song from like each song off the album, and you get like music. Like, please tell me that's actually actually a thing. But that's what like I thought. He didn't drop nothing like that. So because of that, the only thing that he really did drop, as you see right here next to me, is the album cover, who he did a collab with. I think the person's name is Sloan. Let me double check. I want to give the artist credit name because 21 Savage and this person are still doing collabs and doing promotions. Like, they was doing like art drops throughout the before we got here. So it's actually amazing. It was smart rollout, actually. So because of that, I'm very proud of the way that he decided to work this one out. Hold up, guys. I know it's in here. I got so many things in my screenshots. Oh. Here we go. I found it. Salon. Salon was the name of the person that he did a collaboration with, and they did 4 limited edition alternative covers for his album on top of that. So they did 5 album covers, an installation piece right here, and then not to mention just the fact that this even connects to this person. Really, I haven't listened to the album yet. I will listen to it after I get off air. However, the pictures really seem to give the sentiment of what I'll put them up right here. The sentiment of what his album is supposed to represent, which is called "What Happened to the Streets." And honestly, brother, that's a good question. What has happened to the streets? Not that I'm on the streets, but it just seems like gang and cliques and people ratting on each other. You know, it just seems people like 21 Savage is trying to bring love and peace and harmony back to the streets. Because like that one rapper said, what the hellion? What the hellion say? Like, seriously, that's exactly what 21 Savage is echoing. What the hellion is going on in these streets, guys? He's like, why are we hating? Why are we fighting? Why are we not loving one another? We are brothers. We are sisters. We are all companions. We love each other. We were cool at one point, and now we want to start having all these internet beefs with each other. Guys, what happened? What happened to street code? What happened to all these codes? Why are we forgetting where we came from? Essentially is what I'm getting from. So he's like almost re-reminding us, where is the love? Black Eyed Peas. So because of that, it's still a song that rings sentiment true to this day. And now 21 Savage is trying to be that peacemaker within the industry to bring everybody back together. He's trying to bring Young Thug and Gunna back together after that whole YSL trial that happened a few years ago. And I think it was Gunna. Somebody ratted somebody out. So he's trying to make peace there. He's trying to make peace with Quavo and Offset. So with the whole trying to get the Migos reunited after Takeoff took off. So because of that, it's just, he's like, guys, you guys was a group. You was like family, literally. So why are we fighting? So that's another thing. And then he tried to squash his beef with another rapper. little baby. I think he had a beef with little baby, so he's trying to squash his beef with little baby. So he's like, I'm telling you guys to fix all your beefs, and I will try to fix my beefs out here too, because I want love and peace. So he was like, I'm going to walk and preach what I say. So because of that, he's like, hey, make amends, you know. So he's out here trying to do the do, and because of that, props to 21 Savage for that, because it really takes a lot of, not a lot of courage, but just a lot of energy just to try to bring back peace for long standing feuds. Let's not forget that he told Drake not to even get into a beef with Kendrick Lamar. So because of that, 21 Savage has been the voice of reason of the industry, it sounds like. So I have to give him his props, at least from what he's presenting here. And this is all, you guys could maybe say this is because I'm not too familiar with him. You guys could say maybe this is all promotion for his what happened to the streets. You know, give that promo rollout like, hey, this is what I'm talking about in the album, and I'm gonna live by this album or show you guys, and then you guys are gonna like want to be like, ooh, what this album about? Let me go check out the album. So because of that, you know, this could be all that too. But anything that's done genuinely, and just anything to bring peace back on the earth, whether it's genuine or disingenuine, I just appreciate it, because we need peace, love, and sunflowers and beautiful light positivity spread all over this earth. So we need it. So anybody that tries to bring peace and tries to be the middleman in a long-standing feud, congratulations to you on that, for trying to do that. So because of that, that are some things that's going on with his album. Now, what I really liked about this is the fact that who he is collaborating with, because that is interesting. It was quite a few. It wasn't a lot of people. He has collaborated with, hold up. He collaborated with Lotto. Okay, hold up. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, guys, yet again. So the people that he had featured in this album was Drake, Little Baby, Lotto, Glorilla, G Herbo, Metro Boomin, and Young Nudie. I hope I pronounced that right. That was a new name for me. But and G Herbo's also a bit new, but the name Herbal kind of sounds familiar. But other than that, has these people collaborating. There's 14 tracks on here. And while I was doing my research, because, you know, of course, the second I saw that Lotto's name was there, the fans at this point, I think I'm starting to get where you guys are coming from and why you think 21 Savage and Lotto are dating, especially because they're keeping it on the down low and underneath the raps. Because I just realized that I mean, I knew that 21 Savage had gotten deported back in like 2019, 2020, and he was a Canadian citizen. However, what I did not know is that shortly after that deportation and that he overstayed his visa, like the next year, he got married to his current wife. Like, does that not sound like 90 Day Fiance to you guys? Like, it just sounds like he married her to get some sort of visa, yet that's still pending in the courts, and 21 Savage is still working with ICE on his immigration status. So no, he's still not a legal citizen, yet he is married to somebody who's a legal citizen. So yeah, he overstayed his visa. So there's a lot that's going on with 21 Savage on that one. However, I completely understand now why it could be like a business deal that they are like dating, so that way he can stay in America, and his team is trying to advocate for him, that he has provided so much and he is like so much of American citizen, even though he doesn't have the title. He's done so much, he's contributed so much money and like all that. So like, why not claim and give him American citizenship? So because of that, that's all was going on with 21 Savage. I just want to run that down for you guys, if you guys were not aware that he is still not a full citizen. So all of that, I was surprised to find that out about his wife. So yes, I'm right there with you guys. I definitely now 100% think that 21 Savage and Lotto could be dating. Because at first I was just like, why would people be thinking they're dating if he has a wife? Like, that would be openly cheating, right? And all these down low rumors, but then you never see him with his wife anyway. So it's a bit peculiar. It's a bit curious. But I digress. That's not what I'm really here for. That was just a little bit of information I wanted to put in when I saw Lotto as a collaboration on his album. So because of that, I'm here to do a reading on how this album's going to do, because it is mixed reviews apparently. Some people are going to say that he's going to knock it out the park yet again with a number one at the end of the year. So that would be a triumph, right? He put it out towards the almost very end of the year. And if he can make it to number one before 2025 is over in 2 to 3 weeks, that just shows you the testament of 21 Savage's ability, lyricism, and everything. So because of that, that's that whole amalgamation of that. But then there are some people who are saying that 21 is flopping right now because album sales aren't albuming. So because of that, and then people are defending them by saying, I think it was DJ Academic saying that in the time and things that it is now in the state of the economy, nobody really buying albums, but everybody's streaming. So you got to care about those streaming numbers, get those streaming numbers up. And that's exactly what 21 Savage is doing if he can get to that number one place on Billboard. So it's possible for him to yet again, through the entire decade, year after year after year, never missed a year of being number one. So 21 Savage, pull through on that one. And I think he really did a really great job and brilliant album rollout, creative work. I think he put a lot of time, energy, and effort into this because it's something true to his heart. But anyway, I am here to pull some cards now that I have discussed about 21 Savage. But all that to be said, that is exactly why I'm here to do a reading. And let's just find out, how is this album going to fare? Is he going to end up number one on Billboard by the end of the year? Can 21 Savage make that feat? Oh, he's going to get a stream for me, that's for sure. So you're just one stream closer. All right. So let's just pull some cards. Okay. Ooh, perfect. Past, present, future. Oh. Either order I would have put this. The 9 of Swords would have ended up in the middle. So I just got to take the 9 of Swords, which is meant to be there no matter which way if I put it. So let's just see what's above and below this 9 of Swords, because maybe it's a little something different. Maybe he's just stressing over making it to Billboard number one. The Ace of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Okay. And let's just see outside influences. The Death card. Ah. Ooh, okay. I'm liking that. It's looking a whole lot better. Honestly, I am now convinced that this middle card, this card that represents 21 Savage and how he's feeling about this album and what this album can do for him, it's only coming from him. The stress, the worry, am I going to do it? Did I do it right? Did I do it justice? Do I get enough people interested? Did I dazzle them enough with the artwork and the collaboration and the geniusism? Is my lyricism going to hit them yet again? So he's like doing all this, like worrying about all of this, but outside of everything else, everything symbolizes a growth, the only truly negative card that I see is the Death card, and that's in his past. So because of that death is a sense of a transformation. He saw the death of the streets. He saw the way things were coming to a demise. And what did he think up in his mind? An album. He was just like, let me vent. Let me make an album about this. Let me solidify this in the culture so that way people will know that during this time, this is what I had to say. This is what I was thinking. And this is what I had to contribute to the culture. So he's using his album and his platform to promote positive reinforcement message. And we see here down at the very bottom, in the past was the Four of Cups. It was the sense of he's not going to accept this anymore. He's tired of sitting back and looking. He's ready to go do something. It's been gnawing at him like a mouse still. It never stops. So because of that, he finally had to go and do something. He was like, all right, this nagging feeling sensation that's been weighing heavy on me, I finally got to do something about it. I finally got to get it off of my shoulders. And now that it's finally off his shoulders, it's still in him. True, yes, it's still residual, but still, the whole energy and vibe he's still in, and he's worried because it's still in the fresh days, because it just came out on the 12th. So because of that, that was literally 6 days ago. So we haven't even made quite a week yet. So we're still in the early days. So he's like sitting back waiting, and that wait and anticipation has got him nervous. Real nervous, especially because, like I said, the question is he going to make it to number one, and he's going to knock it out the park yet again with another year within the decade of bringing home the number one album title. So because of that, not the number one album, but the number one title. Yeah, I guess that would be the number one album on Billboard. Just number one on Billboard. And if he could do that every year consecutively, that shows that he still got it. And if he still got it, then that means he still has an influence and a pulse within the industry. And that's what he's worried and concerned about. Hopefully, I'm not too washed out. No, kind of in that sense of feeling. And so here we have at the bottom is the Nine of Wands, a symbolization of what does the Nine of Wands usually symbolize? I'm actually trying to think. Oh, yes, the Nine of Wands is usually somebody who has experienced a mental blow, which I can exactly see that here. We have the Ace of Swords, the Death card, then the Nine of Swords, and then the Four of Cups. Even though the Four of Cups wasn't the Swords card, it was still that gnawing energy that was in him mentally that pushed him to finally move and drive. So because of that, that Nine of Wands symbolizes that all that was all up in his head, all up in his mental, trapped up, bouncing all around, doing this, doing that, finally has somewhere to go, onto paper, into lyrics, into a melody, and into our ears. So because of that, he has finally, because once you can name a thing and give it a voice and give it life, emotion, which is exactly album and a music, then it finally comes alive. So because of that, and it's out there in the universe, and it's no longer something that is a figment of your imagination. Now everybody else gets to experience and see it too. And that's exactly how he's feeling with this album, that now what has finally been bothering him is finally like finally got that off of my chest. I hope you guys agree with me too, kind of vibe. But he was like, it was one of those things where he needed to do this album. And it really gave him a sense of healing. And he's trying to bring healing to the community. And I think that's honestly what finally gave him some pep in his step. Back to that Cup card of accepting, okay, I'm tired of all the hate. I'm tired of all the fighting. What the heliante, guys? Seriously, can we get our acts together? Is how 21 Savage was feeling. He was like, if I got to make an album to get it clear to you guys, I will. He was just like, so this peacemaker is something he feels deeply within himself, to make peace, to bring love and joy back to the earth. Sunflowers, literally love. We talk about that all the time on this channel. And this is exactly what 21 Savage is attempting to do. And sometimes when albums are like that bring attention to things that everybody loves, suddenly you're like controversial, suddenly you're going against the grain, suddenly you're doing something that's not mainstream, so it's not really going to do as well because everybody's going to be like, man, I didn't want to hear that. So because of that, that's something that he has to be topsy-turvy with. And he's playing the balance nicely, but hey, what is ever on your heart and you just got to get it out, just get it out there. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's just hoping that it can get received. And what we see here in the future is the world card, which is perfect because it's out in the world and we are in the world, and basically it's telling us we got to see how this album is going to circulate, because it's possible it can make a full circle. Like I said, hit after hit after hit, that hamster wheel, again and again, back to back to back, the world card, full circle. Like, yes, it sounds like he's going to make that number one album, but it's also up in the air. But I definitely see he's going to be working hard. This album could actually stand out more in comparison to what's out here, because another feat on top of that is that if he can make it, I think he's like in the top 10 or charting amongst like the top 4 normal albums that top around this year, because you know it's around the Christmas holidays, and when it's the Christmas season, Christmas songs really skyrocket and take it to the charts. You know, Mariah Carey is number 1 right now. So it's like, can 21 Savage top Mariah Carey in her Christmas season? We're asking for a lot right here. And that's exactly why 21 Savage. But maybe it was something he needed to do within himself. Or maybe, like they say, it was a surprise album. It was something he was working on behind the scenes. And now it just finally feels like it's the time to do it. And maybe that's just the thing, because who knows what's coming for 2026. And this is the time that it needs to come out, before 2026, where it would have been like, oh man, you just trying to get with the times. He wants to be fashion forward, ahead of the times, wanting to be the voice of reasoning and not being the follower. So because of that, that's what he's trying to set, a trend of peace and love. A great message to hear for the very end of the year, and a great message to move forward with into the new year. So that's exactly what I see here with the 7 of Wands, is that his album is going to stand out outside of the mundane, typical Christmas music. No, like, no hate to any of the Christmas music out there, but it's like the same old songs that chart every year around this time, just because they're classics, and really because they're classics and everybody's listening to it. Sorry, not many people are going to be listening to things outside of Christmas, so it's going to be really hard for you to top the charts at this time if you're not a Christmas album or a Christmas single. So because of that, it's the time and temperament that 21 Savage has put this album out, that it's going to have to work and marinate it through the system. But we still see here, from that 7 of Wands to the 6 of Wands, we still see a growth, a rising, to the charts. Like I said, the world card kind of gave that vibe of coming full circle, did it again, yet again, another year, another number 1. That's the vibe I was getting. So you know what, let's just pull 3 oracle cards just to see. Sounds like it's very positive for his album, especially for the message. And you know what? If it's time, and was time for him to put this album out, and he's just following his intuition and just following his spirit guides, essentially, and he puts it out when he was supposed to put it out, then it's going to do what it's going to do, and it's going to get to the charts, because it was meant for it to be out at this time. So that's all I see, the synchronicities of it all coming together for 21 Savage, if it can make it to the 21s. Because when you just start thinking about all the things that could have the album not triumph as well as it could, you start thinking that's actually a lot of cards. Okay, so the first 2 cards, you start thinking, is it possible for him to actually make a number 1? And that's exactly what this 9 of Swords is symbolizing, that he's constantly thinking about all these things. He's just like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm wondering too, guys. Can I make it with all this? But he's really not praying. He's really having hope within his. Wow, this is actually really hard to get the word phrasing out. He's really trying hard to get. He's really trying his best when it comes to this album, and so because of that, it's just this is one of those things where you just got to sit and wait, honestly. and see if it's going to play out. So he's putting all his strength, time, energy. He put all his love. He gave it his all and his best. And the album is going to do as good as he did. So because of that, that's just only going, the best is the best, but sometimes the best isn't the best for now. And like I said, during the time temperament, but hey, if it's right and it's supposed to be meant for now, going to skyrocket with that. But let's see, we have two cards that have fell out. That was the Mountain card and the Woman card. And what I see here when it comes to this album, which is really weird because I was talking about a woman, so we'll put that on the side. Clearly that was about his love life, and I'm not sure if there's some block. I'm not sure if it's about his immigration status and the wife that he's married to and it's being questioned, or if this is about Lotto and what's going on in their relationship. But I digress. Let's pull out these four cards that seem to fall out. It seems like they're just two separate stories, clearly. So maybe these four are going to have to deal with his album. Do it the same method I did earlier. Perfect. Good vibes. Run. Not always a bad thing. Birds. And resistance. Oh my. Okay. Literally, it's like yes, no, yes, no. We got good vibes, but then run. That's adrenaline pumping through your veins. But then you got birds chirping. You want the birds chirping around this time. You good press, all press. That's great. You want the birds chirping. You want people talking about the album. You want ears and you want ears and all eyes on your album. So yeah, though, let the birds chirp. But then we got resistance. So the struggle here, I'm quite curious what this resistance card is, and I wonder if it has something to do with that mountain and that woman. But because they came out separate yet together, I feel like there's some sort of correlation. Now, I'm not sure if it's just the fact that he's going to be having some sort of relationship problems, and I'm not sure if this is just trying to like sneak its way in while I'm trying to do album career reading. However, I just see for his album, it was good vibes, and he didn't hastily put it out. But now that it's out, he feels like the adrenaline coursing through his veins, like I said. So he feels all the good vibes, the good energy, but also he's nervous too. And he's like on 10. So because of that, he's got to find a way to kind of like bring himself down a little bit. But we see here is the birds, and the birds is really great and positive. When it comes to this album, people are going to be talking about it and continuing to talk about it. He's going to keep the album's names in our mouths. So because of that, that's great for him. And then we see a sort of resistance for the future. And I'm not sure if that's just simply from the fact of the slight eekness of the possibility that it won't make it to number one. But we'll all see, like I said, that really is just going to all play out in time. And that's pretty much what I have to say. We have a woman and a block card. And I'm not quite sure how that fits into this reading, except for the fact that I just feel like there's some sort of relationship problem, and maybe that might bleed in. I'm not sure if that's going to bleed in during the future, where it's going to be like harder for him to like try to like focus on his album promotion because he's going through troubles at home. You know, it's hard to balance work and life. Was it work and home? So like that kind of thing that I'm seeing a sort of struggle that he's going to try to have to work out in the next couple of weeks, because the year is almost up. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. Or maybe that competition is that maybe he isn't going to triumph over Mariah Carey. So because of that, or any woman that's like number one right now. So that's sort of resistance right there. So that's all I had to put out there. So I've covered every option, and I hope you guys enjoyed this reading on 21 Savage. I sure did. It got a little bumpy there at the end when the Oracle cards came out, but it gave me a good puzzle to put together. So it's still up in the air, like I said, but overall, I see a good vibes. Overall, positive chance. Like if I had to give it a likelihood, like I don't want to get like too overly zealous and say like, ooh, an 80% like chance that it could be number like one. It's like high, but I don't feel like it's low either. But if it's that high, you would think that it would just have to be number one. But then there's that like 20% rarity chance that it doesn't make it, you know? So that's like the kind of vibe that I'm feeling with this album. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It will really mean a lot to the channel. Please and thank you, and hype it up just for 21 Savage and the idea of his album doing great out there. Let's get all that positive energy towards that album to get it up the charts, sending out that good vibration, good energy, sending out those sunflower seeds. So with that being said, I and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and spread those beautiful sunflower seeds all over the earth. We definitely need it. And with that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers.